Hello guys, so today we are going to talk about comparative advantage and absolute advantage. So what is comparative advantage? It is the ability of an economy to produce a given good or service in a more efficient and economically competitive manner than its peers. Basically, comparative advantage is completely related to opportunity cost. It is one of the most important concepts in economics. The key to understand is this that the comparative advantage is a solid grasp of opportunity cost. If you want to put it simply, an opportunity cost is a potential benefit that someone loses out when selecting a particular option over another. So, in the case of comparative advantage, the opportunity cost, that is to say, the potential benefit that has been forfeited for one company, is lower than that of another. The company with the lower opportunity cost and thus the smallest potential benefit which was lost holds this type of advantage. On the other hand, absolute advantage is the ability to do a task using fewer inputs. It's the ability of an individual or company, region, or country to produce a greater quantity of a good or service with the same quantity of inputs provided per unit time. So in our example here, we can see that Dave and John, they both are picking apples and pears. Dave has an absolute advantage at picking apples. He can pick 100 apples in a given time frame, whereas John can pick 75 apples in the given time frame. So for pears, also Dave has an absolute advantage again, considering he can pick up 50 pears in the given time frame, and at the same time John can pick up 25 pears in the given time frame. So that was the absolute advantage. Now when we talk about comparative advantage in the same example, we can see that for apple, Dave has a comparative advantage of half a pear of apple after doing the calculation, and John's opportunity cost of picking apples is 1/3 of a pear. So one apple represents 1/3 of a pear to John, which means that John's opportunity cost is lower. And when we are talking about comparative advantage, it is the ability to produce good at a lower opportunity cost than what others can produce it. Same goes for the opportunity cost of picking a pear. From the calculation, we can see that Dave's opportunity cost is 2 pear, while John's opportunity cost is 3 pear. This means that Dave has a lower opportunity cost of picking pears. Therefore, we want Dave to pick up the pears and we want John to pick up the apples, considering the output is going to be the highest this way. The law of comparative advantage tells us if we want to maximize output, we want the people with the lowest opportunity cost to produce that good or service. In our case, even though Dave has an absolute advantage of picking apples, John has a competitive advantage of picking apples. It costs him only 1/3 of a pear of picking apples, and it costs Dave half of a pear to pick an apple. In this case, we want John on picking apples, and this isn't going to say that they're going to end up with the same number of apples, but when they trade, they both could be made better off. So overall, we can see how comparative advantage is used in the real world and how it explains there are gains from trade in markets where people specialize and how it drives the international trade market.